Hey, what's up, YouTube? How's it going, guys? All right. Let me pull up the Instagram here. All right, we're live. Welcome, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well today. It's Thursday. It's time for another episode of just a live Q&A, hang out here. What to say? A lot going on, a lot of exciting things. I'm having a free online workshop tomorrow, Male Sexual Mastery Secrets. If you've been interested in my 6-week course, Multi-Orgasmic Man, this would be a good chance to kind of learn a bit of like what I'm teaching in the course for free. I'm going to be teaching techniques to control ejaculation, last longer in bed, have non-ejaculatory orgasms, circulate sexual energy throughout the body, and a lot more. How to really, channel your sexual energy into creating your dream life, manifest your ideal life, right? So make sure you sign up for that. Again, it's tomorrow. It's free. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific time. There's a link in my Instagram bio. There's a link on my YouTube videos. This video on YouTube is linked on. Oops, I forgot to start my Instagram feed. Give me 1 second here. All right. So before I get into Q&A, go ahead and send your questions in. I'll get to the Q&A part. But having some issues here. Okay, let me try this one more time. Hold tight, guys. Seem to be unable to go live on Instagram. Oh, there we go. All right, we're good. All right, guys. So this is a really important time to be cultivating your sexual energy. I mean, anytime is a great time, right? But especially now, it's like, again, your sexual energy, it's your creative power. It's what really gives you the ability to create what you want, right? Sexual energy, it gives us the ability to create anything. Everything in the known universe is created by polarity, this sexual magnetism that exists. When you can harness this energy, really understand this energy, harness it, channel it, build it in your body, circulate it, exchange it with the world, exchange it with your partner, whatever, you can create absolutely anything. You can create abundance for yourself. You can create joy, beauty, harmony in your life. You can create better health, higher energy levels, right? Sexual energy is the key to this. And this is such an important thing right now in our world because we're stepping into a time where people are starting to hand over their power to someone else. They're saying, oh, I'm not happy with my life. I'm not happy with how things are. Well, I'm going to give the other person, doctor, give me a drug or, send me to a priest or something, right? People are living under hypnosis from their electronic screens and they're getting basically manipulated into doing weird things, right? All this fear-based information that's coming at us. So if you, want to get out of this pattern in your life personally, break out of the matrix and truly live a life of freedom, live a life of purpose, live a life of harmony and balance, and be able to manifest life you truly want, cultivating your sexual energy is extremely important. And again, this is something that's been hijacked for a lot of us, men specifically. So many men around the world are addicted to porn. And they're addicted to this habit of continuously releasing their sexual energy from their body, depleting them, hormonally, depleting them energetically, releasing their life force every day into a tissue, and they have no power to create with. They have no power to manifest with. They're literally throwing away their masculine power, and they're becoming, docile servants, slaves, right? So if you want to get out of this habit and start to create your dream life, circulating, cultivating your sexual energy is really the key. So again, I'm teaching a free workshop tomorrow. Those of you who just joined me, I'm teaching a free Male Sexual Mastery Secrets online workshop tomorrow. I'm going to be teaching amazing practices, having non-ejaculatory orgasms, lasting for hours in bed. So sign up for that through the link in my Instagram bio, and there's a link in this YouTube video. All right, we're going to get into Q&A now. So go ahead and send in your questions, and I'm going to answer some questions here. I'm not sure how to say it, varicocele. It's like, I forget how to say it, varicocele or something. People have asked me about this a lot. It's not something I'm very familiar with, so unfortunately I can't give you advice on this issue. What are your thoughts on swallowing the sperm? I think you meant to say swallowing. What are your thoughts on swallowing sperm after a tantric self-stimulation session in case you ejaculated? A little weird, I know. I mean, you might as well, I guess, right? If you want to do it, sure. You'll get back some of the nutrients and the enzymes and things that, you release through your semen. So it's better than flushing it down the toilet, I guess. So, go for it if you're up for it. I'm 16. Can sexual kung fu and semen retention help me grow taller? Any other recommendations? Well, you're 16. You probably, have more to grow, right? You're not done growing. So don't worry too much about it. Don't obsess too much about it. But in general, yes, having your hormones in proper balance will definitely help with your growth. Teenagers, in my opinion, my experience, teenagers don't need to be obsessive about semen retention. Because you have a lot of sexual energy to manage. If you don't have the skill to really work with that sexual energy, there can be some imbalances, but overall it's definitely good to, at least regulate your ejaculation at that age. Too much masturbation, too much ejaculation at any age, really, it's going to deplete your hormones, and, that can lead to improper development of, different body parts and things like that. So in general, you could definitely benefit from it, but don't be too obsessed with it. Do they add some kind of chemicals in water to decrease your testosterone? Well, interestingly, they found that estrogen levels are very high in a lot of cities' drinking water supplies. And there's different theories on this. Some people say they're putting it in, but the other theory is that because of the amount of, women on birth control, things like that, they urinate out the estrogen, and it kind of, the water gets clean, gets filtered, but that estrogen remains in the water. So, that can have an impact on your hormonal balance, right? But also chlorine, which is put in the water, it's terrible for your health. Fluoride, terrible. It causes aluminum to accumulate in your pineal gland, makes it, difficult for you to think for yourself, to become a sovereign being, makes you easily hypnotized, also makes you more susceptible to EMF radiation because you have high levels of heavy metals in your body, which are conductors, right? So I recommend not drinking tap water, getting drinking high quality water. I have like a, super potent, water purification and water ionizer system personally. It's one of the best investments you can make, is having quality water. Is it true that if you have sex with someone, you absorb their energy? What is your views? Yeah, so definitely sex is a deep exchange. You're opening yourself incredibly deeply and intimately to someone when you have sex with them. This can be a good thing or a bad thing, right? Basically, it's not like it's right or wrong, but if you're sleeping around, you are opening yourself to much more that you will absorb. When you have sex with someone, again, you're exchanging energy, deeply exchanging information. You're absorbing their karma, ancestors' karma. It's a really deep exchange. So it's important to be aware of this and to choose, your partner as well. You probably shouldn't sleep with someone who you don't want to be like, because that's what happens when you have sex with someone. You absorb their energy. You become like them in a lot of ways. You absorb that information and take it on as your own. Okay, this question. Oh, Sayin MG Toe in the class tomorrow. Power over 9,000. Here I come. Awesome, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Okay, this question, Dylan. I've hit a second flatline. How many flatlines do you get during the reboot process? Okay, so flatline, this is basically the theory is that when you begin practicing semen retention or NoFap, whatever, there's this point where you experience low levels of energy, mood, things like that. In my experience, I don't know if this is always necessarily related to practicing retention, because I didn't really experience this in my semen retention journey. I made a video on this. You can find out more information. But when you're experiencing a period of like low energy, your mood's low, you're kind of depressed, whatever, it usually means something's stuck in your body. Yes, it can be that you're kind of rewiring yourself, when you're releasing an addictive pattern that's been overstimulating your brain and your nervous system, like porn addiction. But it can also simply be that, there's other factors, right? There's a lot of, we'll say that the energy field of the world right now, to be here right now in the human morphogenic field, there's a lot of weird information, being broadcast, human emotions, a lot of fears, not to mention the technological manipulations on humanity, vibrational technology, EMF, cell phone technology, things like that. There's a lot of factors that are working against our health and balance. So yeah, if you're experiencing, what you think is a flatline or just in general, low energy, depression, get out, connect with nature. That's the most important thing, is getting out in nature. Put your feet on the earth if you can. Exercise, meditate, clear your energy field, clear your mind, do some qigong, build your qi. And when you have a consistent practice of balancing your energy field, keeping your energy flow smooth and harmonious, then you will be in overall much more balance, much better flow in your life. Do you believe in elites and agendas trying to keep people in fear and messing with energy dynamics? Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious that, let's look at media corporations, for example. 6 major corporations own all the major media, all the news, everything in the world. So a very small handful of people, control all the information we see. That's powerful. And people just absorb all this information they call news, right? As if it's like a public service, but this is manipulated information. News companies are corporations. They have CEOs, they have shareholders. They're interested in profits. They're not interested in releasing unbiased information. So yes, it's well known that a very small group of people basically control the planet through banking, through religions, the Vatican, right? We can get into that stuff. But yes, there's a small group of people that have been controlling things for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And it's all kind of falling apart right now. That's why things are getting so desperate. A lot of this is coming out into the open. So, I'm not going to get too much into that, but next question. What are your thoughts about group sex? Well, I mean, hey, whatever you enjoy, whatever balances you, whatever is best for you in your cultivation, right? But this comes down to, I was talking about a little bit ago, someone asking about absorbing energy from people when you have sex with them. So if you're in a group sex situation, everyone who you're connecting with, you are absorbing you're absorbing their energy, their emotions, their karma. So if it's people you love and resonate with, that's great. But if it's like random people you don't know, and maybe they aren't, the cleanest energetically, then, you're going to have some work to do to clean that stuff up. So it's not like, for me, it's not an issue of morality. It's just like, hey, this is what happens when you sleep with a bunch of people randomly. You just have more work to do. You have more energy to process, we could say, right? Okay, how do you deal with fear and anxiety from things like politics and news? Yeah. So don't watch the news. It's quite simple. Turn off your television. Like, again, this is a mass campaign of fear-based control on humanity right now. They're spending millions and millions of dollars to keep you in fear right now. All the information, it's like, I was at the gym yesterday, and unfortunately my gym has like 5 televisions. I had one thing I hate about going to the gym is like there's these televisions, and it's like every TV show, it's all like reminding you, oh, if things are terrible right now, everyone's gonna die. It's just ridiculous, right? If you turn that garbage off, stop paying attention to the news, and like you start to forget, you're like, oh, actually things aren't so bad. Actually, if I go out into nature, I'm in the trees, the forest, like everything's quite peaceful. So this comes down to your focal point. What you are focusing on, it grows, it amplifies, it crystallizes. So when you're focusing on fear-based information, politics, all this, weird stuff, all weird agendas being rolled out, the more you focus on it, the more it starts to crystallize, amplify, the more that will become your reality. But if you stop paying attention to all the bullshit, and again, focus on what excites you, what you enjoy, start putting your energy and your focus into positive things, creating something, creating art, creating music, spending time with your family, your friends, spending time in nature, then you will basically start to live in a different world, a different reality, because everything is an illusion. And so it's your focal point that crystallizes the information of the energy matrix we live in into something that seems tangible. And again, your beliefs and your focus is what determines this. So basically focus on more positive things. All right, there was a few questions. Let me scroll back up here. How much retention is recommended? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Like, what period of time is recommended? I recommend men going a minimum of a week between ejaculations. It kind of depends on your age, your health level, also what your goals are. Like if you're doing sexual kung fu practices, then you can go much longer without retaining. you can retain for much longer and feel balanced. But if you're not doing sexual kung fu practices, you may build up so much energy that you are unable to balance. And so, it's going to look like different things for different guys. But in general, I think going at least 2 weeks or more is good. But a good starting point is a few days to a week if you're new to retention, right? Basically, if you feel good, keep going. Okay, so this question. I wanted to ask you your opinion about semen retention without alchemical exercises because you always say it is not so good, but I experience benefits like motivation, confidence. Okay, so doing semen retention without sexual transmutation practices, right? And I say I don't recommend this because there's a tendency for certain complications to occur. Again, the dynamic of semen retention is you're building up a tremendous amount of sexual energy. So you have more energy, right? But if you're a very unbalanced person, if you have a lot of unconscious patterns, a lot of like blockages in your body, then you start pouring gasoline on the fire. It can feed these imbalances. So that's kind of the risk with sexual cultivation, semen retention, and that's why my multi-orgasmic man course, I teach all these practices to keep yourself balanced, to rid negative emotions out of your body, so you don't amplify them with your sexual energy, which happens to men a lot in retention. So basically, my rule of thumb with retention is if you feel good, that's great. But if you don't feel good, if you're feeling angry, irritable, frustrated, something is wrong. Your energy is blocked and you want to address this. What are your views on cryptocurrency? I've invested in crypto. I spent, I invested 4,000 just over a year ago in crypto, and it's now, my original $4,000 investment is at 60,000 right now. So it was and I've put much more in since then because I'm like, wow, this is, the thing is that the US dollar it's fiat currency. It's based on nothing. It's thin air. It's just a number. And the reason why prices seem to be going up, it's not that the things are getting more expensive, is that the US dollar is decreasing in value. It's decreased like 95% or something like that. The US dollar value is going down and down. Every time they print out more money out of thin air, the value of the dollar goes down. So having something a bit more stable is a good idea to invest in. I don't know if crypto is the most stable thing, but it's a good thing to invest in. Also, like gold, silver, things like that. I definitely recommend investing some money in other forms of currency, other things in case something the US dollar tanks or something like that. I'm not a crypto expert, but again, I've had massive payouts from investing in it. How do I conquer premature ejaculation? The main cause of premature ejaculation in men is pelvic floor hypertension, which is also linked to constantly being in this fight or flight state, tension in the body, just stuck in the sympathetic nervous system, stress, right? So the first foundation of overcoming premature ejaculation for men is releasing patterns of tension from the pelvic floor. Reverse Kegels, deep breathing, things like that can help. Join my free workshop tomorrow, Male Sexual Mastery Secrets, and I'll be teaching how to overcome premature ejaculation. Sign up for that in my Instagram bio. There's a link in this YouTube live stream. Okay, I turn into an animal in a good way when I go for at least a week. Retaining, I'm guessing you're saying. Best way to control my energy instead of letting go? Circulate it. Again, all this raw sexual energy stuck in the genitals is just going to feed your sexual urges and things like that, which, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you don't want that, you really want to move that energy through your body. This is what the microcosmic orbit practice is for. Check out my microcosmic orbit guided meditation on YouTube. And that you'll learn to start moving the sexual energy through the pathways of the body. It changes the shape of it, transmutes, channels the energy so that it's dispersed to your entire body and feeds these higher areas of your being other than just your sexual experience. Okay, do you have a shower filter for fluoride? Because I heard it gets absorbed through the skin in massive quantities. Yeah, I have a filter system for my shower, to remove the fluoride, the chlorine. I don't remember the brand off the top of my head, unfortunately, sorry. But yeah, I do recommend shower filter, purified water. Does it matter to be vegan or not? I'm not vegan. I did the vegan thing for a while and it wasn't right for me. My body kind of went into deficiency. Um, everyone's body type's different. Learn to listen to what your body's telling you. When you do internal practices, you become very sensitive to how things affect you, the foods you put in your body, the people you're around, the devices, electronic devices, things like that. So, when you gain some sensitivity by doing meditation and things like that, you'll start to be able to listen to your body and how foods affect you and know what is right for your body type, for the season that you're in, because it changes as well. How has cultivating your sexual energy changed your dreams? I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of changes in my life. Cultivating sexual energy, practicing qigong, meditation, diet, exercise, and all these things I'm sure have affected my dream recall, my ability to lucid dream, have more kind of high level dreams where messages are coming through other than just dreams as a way for your mind just to process traumas and things like that. Kind of a general answer, I guess, but hopefully that helps. Do you agree that there's an aura that others feel when you retain for a while? I mean, you always have, you have an aura and people always feel it. But retention, you're increasing your energy, you're increasing your masculine polarity. So it changes your aura in a way that you become more magnetic to the opposite sex. And you're no longer in deficiency mode. So your energy is able to spread a bit more. When you're charged up, your field expands further. When you've been practicing testicle breathing for a while, is it normal for you to feel the energy flowing through your microcosmic orbit naturally? Yeah, definitely, because you're starting to work with the orbit. You're sending something through it, the sexual energy, which is, a powerful energy to work with through the microcosmic orbit. And yeah, you'll start to feel it. It'll become tangible. When you feel horny, how do you move this sexual energy without ejaculating? Testicle breathing practice on my YouTube channel, kind of the foundation for that is the microcosmic orbit practice. Also check out my power lock video on YouTube. This is the practice to do when you're have a lot of sexual energy built up and you want to pull it out of your genitals. Sacred energy exchange. How much is left of that when a condom is being used? So basically, how does a condom affect the transfer of sexual energy during sex? It has I would say there's a very slight lessening of it, but it's subtle. It's not that big of a deal. The condom, it's worth it for the benefits of wearing a condom, unwanted pregnancy, or STIs if you're with a new partner, whatever. So it's not a huge deal. Basically, you still get an energy exchange. It doesn't feel as good. It's not maybe there's a slight degradation of the exchange, but overall, it's not a big deal. Do you ever do retreats? I've done a couple of retreats. I really, was hoping to do more this year. Things, obviously are a bit weird with travel and stuff, but I'm hoping to put one together this year, somewhere that's open, somewhere that, I can't do it. So we'll see. Are you conscious in your dreams? I do practice lucid dreaming, not all the time. I've kind of gone through phases being more and more focused on this, but overall, yes, I do have lucid dreams from time to time. Black Bear, awesome brother. Why do I still urinate cloudy? I'm pretty certain there's semen in there. There's many factors to the consistency of your urine. Depends what you're eating. If you like root vegetables, they kind of affect your urine a different way. It could be semen, but I mean, the body does release semen through urine because, eventually the sperm die and the body either urinates them out, it releases them in a wet dream, or you reabsorb it into the body. So don't worry too much about it. Where can I get bulk goji berries for a good price? Check like Amazon, eBay. Make sure they're organic. Dragon Herbs has some really great. They have probably the highest quality goji berries I've ever had. They're a bit pricier though, but they're great. Is singing and playing guitar an efficient way of transmuting sexual energy? It's definitely can be an outlet for your sexual energy. Anything creative, art, music. I'm a musician myself, and I find it to be a really, really great outlet for putting that sexual energy to something, channeling something. So yes, it definitely can be. Especially, and I find that doing sexual kung fu practices amplifies that ability because you create pathways for the sexual energy to flow throughout your body. So you create pathways for it to be able to express and bring it out into the outside world, to kind of crystallize it into form, right? What's your opinion on veganism? I think that it's beneficial for some people and it can be harmful for other people. Again, this diet, I know diet becomes a bit of a religion for people. There's no single diet that's right for everyone. We all have unique bodies, unique genetics, unique blood types. It's also, it varies by the season, what's best for your body. It varies by where you live, your climate, right? Your local energies. Um, it's about learning to listen to your body, what it needs, instead of trying to eat from your head what you think your body needs, right? And that requires sensitivity. Does magnetism and aura work on high streaks of semen retention even if you're unattractive or not used to female attention? Well, why do you think you're unattractive? Sounds like a limiting, self-perception. So, give yourself some self-love, give yourself, some self-respect, right? But yes, practicing semen retention, it boosts your testosterone, boosts your hormone levels. You release more androsterone, the pheromones, right? So it can definitely make you more attractive. It's not necessarily like just because you practice semen retention, all of a sudden women will flock to you, but it can definitely improve your overall perception. Are there plans to increase penis size? There's certain supplements you can take that help the tissues of the body grow well and things like that. But overall, it's not like you eat this leaf and all of a sudden your dick grows an inch. Like, I don't think, there's a lot of supplements that claim that, but I haven't seen it, right? After I sunbathed, I got sleepy, and when I laid on the bed, I was aroused and I shook my pelvis region and could feel energy moving around my body and had a feeling of relaxation. What is it called? You sun charged. You absorbed the powerful yang energy of the sun. It charged you up. It felt good. You felt it moving through your body. It's I love sun charging. I do it as much as I can. What is your knowledge on material manifestation through sex? Well, sexual energy is a powerful creative force. You can create a new body, a human with sex, or you can birth other things, working with the quality of that sexual energy. So sexual cultivation, cultivating that sexual energy, doing this with a partner, by yourself, it can kind of create this portal that enables you to manifest. But my approach isn't so much like in sex, trying to manifest something. Overall, it's just cultivating this sexual energy, being able to store that in your body, store it in your dantian, your power center in the belly. And then when you have an intention, you go into your deep meditation state and you start to do the practice of bringing in what you want in your life. You visualize it, but you feel it. You feel the emotional quality of having achieved that. Then you have much more creative power to achieve that with, right? My life completely started transforming once I, started doing this. But you also have to take action. Can zinc supplements benefit the same way as goji berries? Yeah, goji berries have zinc. They have a lot of other minerals in them as well. But overall, yeah, zinc is a good supplement to take for male. It's an essential mineral for male hormone, male and female hormone production. What's the first step to learning non-ejaculatory orgasm? I would say the first step is to remove your kind of preconceptions of what an orgasm is. It's like almost like forget you've ever had an orgasm, because one of the traps men get into when they're learning non-ejaculatory orgasm is that they expect this ejaculation feeling without the ejaculation. That's what I expected, right? But that's not what it is. At least not the types of orgasm I'm teaching. A lot, there's like you squeeze your pelvic floor muscles as you start to ejaculate and you kind of hold in the fluid and have this weak genital orgasm. That's a different approach than what I'm teaching. So basically, releasing any expectation of what an orgasm should be like, and that will allow you to be more in the moment. Because whenever you have this expectation in your mind, you're like, okay, this feels good, but like, I want more. Where's the orgasm? You disconnect from yourself from what's happening. So to start to experience this more subtle full body experience of orgasm, it takes real presence in your mind, in your body, relaxation in your body. You have to be open, right? And another thing to understand is like, instead of this huge concentration of an orgasm in 5 seconds shooting out of your body, that's an ejaculation, the energy is instead slowly washing over your entire body over several minutes or an hour or something like that. So it's a bit more dispersed in the beginning, but once it really starts to build, it becomes more powerful. So join my free online workshop tomorrow, though. I'm going to be teaching how to have non-ejaculatory orgasms. There's a link in my Instagram bio to sign up. There's a link in this YouTube live stream. When I masturbate, I can last for hours, but when I try to have sex with my girlfriend, sometimes I come before I even penetrate. Why is this? Okay, so it's a whole different level of excitement and stimulation when you're with a partner, right? So notice what's happening in your body when you go to have sex. Are you getting nervous? Are you like tensing up? Are you squeezing your pelvic floor muscles? Also, very, very important for men to understand is that for a woman, before you have sex with a woman, it's very important that she's aroused, fully aroused. If she's not like, uh, secreting vaginal fluid, if she's not wet and moist, then she's not fully warmed up. She's not fully aroused, right? And what happens is you insert your penis and there's this kind of pulling effect from the vagina. It's like it starts to pull your yang to heat itself up, right? So this can be another factor as well. So something to, consider. A plant-based diet, if taken correctly, will not cause any deficiency on any body type. It's just, well, my experience, okay, I did the vegan diet. I did everything. I supplemented with everything you're supposed to get, and I still felt deficient. Some people's some people's body types simply cannot absorb properly their blood hemoglobin cannot properly assimilate plant nutrients. It's just, it's what it is. That's why some people get extremely sick by doing the vegan diet. Again, this comes down to there's no single diet that's right for everyone. Diet becoming a religion. Listen to your body. If you feel good with the diet you're having, that's great. And if you don't feel good, something's wrong. Sexual cultivation tips for women. For women, there's a lot. What some practical tips here. Breast massage is very important for women. There's a lot of sexual energy in the breasts. Massaging the breasts helps to kind of activate your hormones, your sexual energy, connecting the breasts with the yoni space. Also cultivating deeper orgasms for women. Too much emphasis on the clitoris will lead to short-lived peak orgasms. So kind of awakening the deeper G-spot, cervical stimulation orgasms can be very, very powerful and opening for women. Also, breathing the sexual energy from the ovaries through the microcosmic orbit into the body, things like that. So Hope that helps. And you can also consciously circulate your sexual energy with your partner. Can you make a video on scrotal compression? I don't necessarily recommend scrotal compression. It's one of those Montauk Chia practices. It's very forceful. You're like swallowing air and trying to shove energy into your balls. Most men have enough compression in their balls, so shoving more energy down there isn't necessarily a good idea. So I don't use the practice anymore. I haven't in years. So, I'm probably not going to make a video on it. Does smoking weed have an impact on premature ejaculation? It definitely can. Marijuana causes a lot of changes to your hormones. It affects your serotonin. I noticed myself personally, I used to have weed a lot, and I noticed that it made me way more sensitive during sex. And so it does affect that. Where do you think the world is going to be in a few years? I don't know. My focus is on the here and now. There's unlimited possibilities for what the future can be, but the future is an illusion. It's the current moment that everything's happening. All the change is here, right now. And if you think too much in the future, project too much in the future, again, it's just an illusion. You're not in the now. Everything's here and now. And the decisions you make, the actions you take right now will determine what the future becomes for you. What's the difference between the cool draw and the big draw? Okay, so the Montauk Chia terms here. Cool draw, in the context of his teachings, the cool draw is basically testicle breathing. You're moving unaroused sexual energy through the body. The big draw is kind of this forceful practice where you pull up aroused sexual energy through the body. So cool draw, basically unaroused sexual energy. Big draw, aroused sexual energy. When initially starting semen retention and qigong, can sleep be disturbed from the fresh energy that's flowing through? Yeah, there can be some changes on various aspects of your life. When you're beginning a new practice like this, changing the energetic dynamics of your body, your sleep patterns can change a bit, and this usually normalizes after a little bit. Benefits of green or black tea for sexual energy. I don't know how beneficial these are for your sexual energy. I personally avoid caffeine entirely. Caffeine can have some negative effects on your sexual energy. It can actually limit blood flow to your genitals. It can make you overexcited, activate the sympathetic nervous system, make it easier for you to ejaculate. So I don't know if there is a lot of benefits. It could be like maybe for people who have really slow circulation, kind of low energy, then, caffeine can bring a bit of fire to your body. So it really comes down to, your body type, what's going to balance you. But for me, I can't do any caffeine. I can't do any tea.